Well, good morning, everybody. Still have that light come on automatically. I guess it senses that it's still a little bit dark, albeit it's a little after 7. And been on trails. I've probably done maybe a mile so far this morning. Started about 6:30, and we're headed right now to Newfound Gap. Newfound Gap's again that primary entrance, if you will, into the Great Smoky Mountains. And again, it's been blocked off on the Tennessee side, so I haven't seen a lot of traffic up here, but it would be interesting to get down to the parking lot and check it out. So last night was fine, absolutely fine. I have to admit that it is a little disconcerting to know that the shelter had just been closed just like hours before because of bear activity, and I found myself with no choice other than to camp within that bear activity. But it all worked out fine. I saw no activity whatsoever. There was no sounds, no disturbances at all. So it worked out great. So the plan for today is a 15-mile hike. Again, we're going to a shelter. I can't remember the name of this one. We're going to a shelter. 15 miles. I believe it's exactly 15 miles, but I got to check that. And today's going to have some milestones to it, because we're going to come to the highest point on the entire Appalachian Trail, higher than Mount Washington, higher than Mount Madison, higher than all those mountains, which is what they used to call Clingmans Dome. It's a different name now. We'll talk more about that when we get up there. And that also marks the 200-mile mark of the Appalachian Trail, exactly 200-mile mark. So once I get past Clingmans Dome, I'll have less than 200 miles to complete this through hike. So it's just checking down. That's kind of the cool part about going southbound, is like it's actually you're clicking off the miles, and you go from 200 to 100 to 0. So yeah, that's the plan for today. All is good. I feel good. I think my body is readjusted. I'm hungry. And I'd love to have some sausage and biscuits, but that's not in the scheme today. So we're just gonna have to keep on pressing on and get out of these Smokies in order to get us some good food, maybe in Bryson City or somewhere. All right, folks, hope everybody's having an awesome day, and we will look forward to catching up with you a little further down the path. All right, everybody, we have made it to Newfound Gap. It's about as quiet as I've ever seen it, that's for sure. It's a huge parking lot. Usually it's at least half full. But I'm sure this is a big part of the problem, a big problem, part of the issue of limited traffic. That's the road right there that takes you to Gatlinburg. It's about 15 miles to Gatlinburg from here. Or you go that way and you're about 20 miles to Cherokee. So, and of course we are standing, and we have been walking right on the North Carolina Tennessee state line, and that'll continue for a while. So we've got 7.9 miles now up to Kuwohi. Kuwohi is the new name for Clingmans Dome. You see how they put a board over top of the sign. So we'll head that way now. I took the opportunity while I was here. Unfortunately, there's no water source. I couldn't see any water, like a water fountain or anything. But there was some trash cans. I was able to get rid of all the trash I've been carrying, so that's great. Hikers love trash cans. So we're off. We're headed up to Kuwohi. Okay, we've come to a point in the trail where we've got these kind of a gate. The intent here is to prevent a barrier to keep the wild hogs. You know, we saw signs of wild hogs. I think it was in yesterday's video. And the whole idea here is to keep the wild hogs cordoned off and not in this protected area. Okay. I'd love to know how that's working for them, honestly. Maybe it works great, but wild hog is pretty smart, and that doesn't seem too hard for a hog to traverse, just like I did. So maybe it works. I don't know. So we've done today, I don't know, at least 4 miles. And I think overall to the top of Kuwohi would be a total of 12 miles in that range. So, and we should be there by 12:30 or so. So I'm hoping to get there, and of course it's going to be just like every time I have a peak where there's going to be a lot of views. We're going to be covered up in clouds, I'm afraid. I've been to the top of Clingmans Dome twice, and both times completely fogged out. So we'll take what we get and not throw a fit, and see how it turns out. But I will at least stop there for lunch before heading on. All right, hope everybody's having a great day, and we'll catch up with you a little further down this trail. I tell you, this is a beautiful trail up to Kuwohi for sure. If you're looking for a day hike, and maybe you have 2 couples, it would work out great that agree to do a day hike together. 2 couples meaning 2 cars. You could drop a car off at Newfound Gap and then drive up to Clingmans Dome or Kuwohi and hike back to the other car. And most of that would be downhill. This, of course, I'm going southbound and climbing up to Kuwohi. And there was a good bit of climbing. I know I don't show it right here. The trail's beautiful. Everything's covered in moss. Everything's very green and verdant. But there has been some pretty significant climbing, I would say. But it was all in steps, you know, with nice formed steps. And I can't complain. Nowhere near as rugged as what I've got used to over the past couple months. But it's still climbing, so you get the heart rate up, there's no doubt about that. But there's also nice flat trail like this we would call cruisy trail. So if you took the trail from Kuwohi back down to Newfound Gap, and of course you'd either have cruisy trail or downhill, and it would be pretty good for all involved. All right, so there's my sales pitch for building a plan to go and do a day hike in the Smokies. Okay, hope everybody's having a great day, and we'll catch up with you further down the path. All right, everybody, we made it to the top. This is the tallest point on the entire Appalachian Trail, Kuwohi. I'm probably saying it wrong. Cherokee word Kuwohi means mulberry place. Can't say I've seen any mulberry bushes here. There probably are some. Mulberry place doesn't have the same presence as Clingmans Dome. Maybe it should be Kuwohi Dome. Now that sounds tough. All right, let's climb up this thing. Looks like it's gonna be a little foggy out there across the mountains, but we're here. When are we gonna come back? Yeah, the fog is blowing over us. We're in a cloud. Kind of what I've grown to expect out of a lot of these special spots, special viewpoints. But at the same time, I've had a lot of great views as well. Like I say, you just take what you get. Oh, that's pretty. You see some mountains back to the north where we came from. Other than that, it is pretty much socked in. The sun's working, I can feel the sun, but it's gonna take a little while for all this to burn off. All right, we'll head back down. It's time for lunch. Okay, so we're just left the Kuwohi Tower and heading south. Of course, I guess the other key milestone that was obtained at the same time was we were at the 200-mile mark of the Appalachian Trail. So everything from here is less than 200 miles to finish up this hike. So to finish up today, we have I think it's 4.5 miles to get to the shelter. And the great news is, because we've done so much hard work climbing up the hill to the highest point, it's got to be all downhill from here, right? So it should be a little easier here in the afternoon. Yeah, we have a view over here through the trees. If anybody has fear of the honeybees being completely extinct, man, I see tons of honeybees on these flowers. Honeybees and bumblebees. But there's pollination happening. And that's a good thing. So, and I never have seen, I don't know, I took a picture of some berries on a bush, and we have mulberry bushes at our house, but I really haven't seen any mulberry. I don't think I've seen any mulberry here at the top of Kuwohi, which is the mulberry place. So who knows, maybe at one point it was a capital of mulberries. I don't know. I can tell you I've seen a lot of blackberries. And there was one stop, I think I took a picture of one of the blackberry briars. It was just hanging full of blackberries, ready to fall off. I mean, they were just so ripe. And I bet I ate 5 handfuls of blackberries, which was so delicious. I don't know, my system was bad needing some fresh fruit, and I don't think you could be any more fresher than pulling it right off the briar. So that was good. So all in all, it's been a good day. It's been a difficult day of climbing, which is the exact reason that when I was planning my day for yesterday, I decided only to do like the 13 miles versus doing the 21-mile plan, because the 21-mile plan just encompassed all that climbing that we did today. I knew I did not have the steam to do that, but again, yesterday's plan worked out not exactly as planned, but it still worked out. So, and I'm confident today's plan will too. So we're gonna keep on pressing on. If you see any cool stuff on the way, we'll certainly take a picture of it. Talk to y'all down the path. All right, everybody, we've reached an area called Seiler's Bald. Seiler's Bald. I'm checking out the blackberry bushes, appear to all be already gone. Beautiful views back that way. That's the direction we're going too. There's some big ones in the background. See there in the far background. I assure you we'll be going over those. Think about Indian Grave, Kuwohi Bald. It won't be long, and we'll be going right over that way. So, made good progress today. Again, we're at Seiler's Bald. We're in fact staying at Seiler's Bald Shelter, which is only about 1/10 of a mile further. So as soon as I land there, we'll check it out. Right on trail. All right, everybody, this is Seiler's Bald Shelter. Looks like that center roof has got a little bit of an issue, doesn't it? Could use some propping up. I don't think that's by design. Okay. Good flat spot if you wanted to put up a tent or something like that, but you're supposed to stay in shelters. That's the rules, as long as they're not closed. I don't see any signs of that, so we're going to be in here tonight. So this is the plan. I'll get my backpack off, and it looks exceptionally clean, I would say, well swept. And I'm gonna settle in, cook me some dinner, start the rest and relaxation from Seiler's Bald Shelter. We have some beautiful flowers. Awesome. Well, folks, we got a big rain happening. It's one of those days I'm really happy to be in the shelter. I'm glad it didn't happen last night when I was in a tent. It's been coming down so hard. It's actually lightened up a bit. It was so loud. It was amazing how loud it was against this tin roof. But hopefully it's all done by tomorrow. I don't know. I can't get enough signal to get an updated weather forecast. So we'll just see how it all works out. So hope everybody had a good day. I've had the opportunity to gather water and set up my sleeping stuff, and had some fettuccine Alfredo for dinner. So I'm all set. I got the place to myself, it appears. So I'm just going to stay dry and do my best to rest and relax. So 15-mile day. We got a bigger day planned tomorrow, and we're making that push to finish up the Smokies. We'll look forward to catching up with you first thing in the morning.